All right, excuse me, just got out the shower. Get ready to go to work. Let's cut some video. So I did live on this yesterday. I want to do an actual video on it. So this is one of those occasions where I did the live first, then talked about it. Sometimes I talk about it first and then do the live, but then y'all don't see the video until later. So everything I upload is not necessarily in the order in which I release it. Doesn't make any sense. Sometimes I had videos sitting in the queue for a month. Just depend on when the right time is to release it, to be honest. So same thing with the Patreon. For the most part, when I upload on the Patreon, sometimes them videos be sitting there and other videos take priority. You know what I'm saying? So join the Patreon. Links in the description. I'm trying to get to 20 members. So it's free for 7 days. See if you like it. Appreciate y'all. But the free game 89 is the one. But Goodfella TV, I've been uploading all the live streams that I do take down go on there. So yeah, you can find them there. But the one from last night is still up. But yeah, man, let's cook, man. So Terence Crawford says he's open to going back down, even though you see Bo Mack kind of insinuating that he may be done, right? So we going to the quotes. Crawford is open to facing 154 pounds, last man standing after facing Canelo. He says a lot of great fighters out there at 154 pounds. Crawford told The Ring during extensive exclusive interview, quote, "I don't want to disrespect any of the fighters just by saying one or the other is the best in the division. If they ever fought, the winner would be the best because the styles make fights. Who knows? Maybe it will be a possible showdown for Terence Crawford in the winner." So I don't really believe that that's what he would do. If he beat Canelo, I think I have a question on whether would it be a rematch. Would he give Canelo a rematch? But financially, it would be in his favor. Now, would he go all the way down at about 40 years old? He'd be 38 when he fight Canelo. So he'd be damn near 40 if he go all the way down, and fight back down to 54. And people remember, those who remember boxing, when they talking about Roy Jones getting beat by Antonio Tarver the second time, people remember when they seen Roy and Antonio Tarver the first time fight each other. We remember Roy Jones didn't physically look good. That's what we do remember. Roy Jones looked terrible. He looked soft coming back down. And when you get older, that's one of the things that kind of, sent Luther Vandross to the upper room, his fluctuation in weight. Believe it or not, fluctuating, like extreme fluctuation in weight, that could be more dangerous than walking around being obese because it's a lot of stress on the body. And I'm gonna talk a lot more about working out on the Goodfella TV Patreon. I'm gonna talk a lot more about that, sexual health and all that other type of stuff. So, but yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. That's a lot of little stuff. I got a few videos on there about the vitamins that you should be taking and all that type of stuff. So, but yeah, I'm gonna help y'all out, especially if y'all want to lose weight. I really want to vlog my weight cut this time around, but that's kind of gonna be tough. But yeah. So him coming back down might be a huge mistake. But honestly, talking about who would be the last man standing, I said this last night. I just get tired of people being politically correct all the time. That's my thing about it. I get tired of all the political correctness. That's my thing. I get tired of all the political correctness, man. But in today's day and age where they misquote you, that's how a lot of beef started in the social media era, or a lot of beef started just in the media, is because it's the media saying that this one guy said this, that, and the third about the guy, and it's taken out of context. Or you can see a clip of somebody saying, F Joe, but out of context, it seemed like he said F Joe. But if you get the total context, he was talking about another Joe, or he was talking about, whatever whatever it was. So if you get the total context of it, it's like, okay, he want to talk about me, or it was a joke, or whatever. So context is everything. When they clip things up and take it out of context, that's why you got to be careful what you say on the internet. No matter how many times we just seen people clip shit up and take it out of context, and then we see the full interview, or we read the full insert, it's like, okay, he didn't mean it like that, or if this was taken out of context, that's the start of beefs. That started beefs. That done started beefs. So yeah, but let's keep it moving. So it says Ortiz team turned down the Mazaliev fight. I've been on his neck. Ortiz is fake. That motherfucker's fake, like Oscar De La Hoya. Nigga's AI. He said the opportunity presents itself. It's a great opportunity for me in my career. Then we will do what we have to do to make the fight with the winner, said Crawford. But who knows where I will go after Canelo? Maybe we do a rematch or I'll just fight someone else. Right now, I'm just mentally focused on Canelo, getting my mind and body right, and just mentally preparing myself for everything that I have to do to get the victory. So I think it's a beautiful thing that he's not talking about retirement. I think it's a beautiful thing where he's not talking about retirement. I said again, I think it's a beautiful thing. When you start speaking things, the tongue is very powerful. You start speaking things into existence. After this, I'm going to retire, or I'm telling y'all how powerful the tongue is. A lot of times you speak stuff into existence, it comes to fruition. That's why people say you shouldn't really speak on death, or you shouldn't really speak negative out loud. And a lot of people don't believe in biblical stuff. I do. Because I done had trials and tribulations and, things that I know that a lot of that stuff is real. But it's teachers on. I'm not here to change nobody's life or change nobody's religious perspective. I'm not the Mormons who come to your door. But at least when people do that and they come to your door, they in the Jehovah, at least they putting their money where their mouth is, per se. At least they doing the word, the God's good work. They ain't just speaking it. They trying to spread the word. A lot of people, something good happen for them. They like to keep it to themselves. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I found a way to make this. Real niggas call their people like, hey man, I've been doing this for a few months. It worked. Yeah, you interested in investing into it? But back on track. Yeah, I wouldn't speak that neither. So, but obviously he tried to go for undisputed. PBC wasn't interested. Simple as that. PBC wasn't interested. He tried to go for undisputed. He tried to, fight Fondor, and all he had to do was turn around and fight Mazaliev. And apparently, Mazaliev is working with PBC, so they could have had two good fights with Crawford. And think about how dumb they are, how bullish they are on hating on Terence Crawford. Think about it. Had they did the Fondor fight and the Mazaliev fight, they would have been able to do the Canelo and Jake Paul fight. Because Crawford would have fought Fondor, turned around and probably fought Mazaliev this year, and Jake Paul and Canelo would have fought in May, and then Canelo and Crawford, they could have still fought, and then Jake Paul and Gervonta could have still fought. But when you hating like PBC hating, you lose money. You take your eye off what's important. You take the eye off the prize. And what was important for them was, Bud. Was Canelo and hating on Bud. And had they, extended an olive branch out to Canelo, who knows? Fondor could have won and they could have did whatever they wanted to do. Who knows? It's not out the question. Who knows? But they didn't want Crawford to get undisputed at 54. And that was said before he fought the Spence fight, that he wanted to fight Spence and Jamil for undisputed. They made sure they made Jamil and Canelo. So it was all about trying to stop Terence Crawford. Al Heyman went out his way to stop a black man. And guess what? Lost to Canelo Alvarez in the meanwhile, right? So just let you know how much of a hater that dude. He's just a hater. He's so much of a hater that he'd drive his business. He had sacrificed his business. And a lot of promoters, the promoters they work with, when they go like to Dallas and they go to like Baltimore and New York City, they hate that nigga, man. They hate Al Heyman. The people that work with Al Heyman don't like him. You know, he's one of those dictators, in my opinion, that like to keep everything for himself and give scraps to his people. I mean, I hear the rumors. No, like him. Surprised ain't nobody put a bullet in his head yet. But if you can't find where Waldo, how can you? You know, a lot he barely feeding the people around him. Samson broke too. He can be a matchmaker or eye talent somewhere making a whole bunch of money, but he'd rather be a rinky-dink promoter up under Al Heyman ass crack. Let you know he hustling backwards. But to become a 4 division undisputed champion, he wouldn't be no 4 undisputed world champion. Even if he came back and fought Mazaliev or Fondor, that'd be 3. 40, 47, my bad. 40, 47, 54. Yeah, it would. 68. That'd be 4. My bad. But, you know, will be cool. Champion is crazy. We have to wait it out and just see what happens after this fight against Alvarez. None of these other fights do anything for my career. If I beat Fondor, Ortiz, or Mazaliev, I'm supposed to beat those guys. But me fighting Canelo, I'm not supposed to beat Canelo in a lot of people's eyes. And that's a career-defining fight and legacy fight, and that's the biggest fight in the boxing at this time. And I agree. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he was able to accumulate those belts and become undisputed and Al Heyman stop hating on him, you know, he can accomplish that. Yeah, I mean, but hey, it is what it is. I agree with, for most part, everything he said. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Hit the link tree. You can find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Amazon, Kick, Twitch, the whole 9. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. I appreciate y'all for supporting the channel. Join the Patreon. It's the best way you can donate. If you think about donating, join the Patreon. Free Game 89, go crazy. I'm gonna step up some talk on Goodfella TV. Get both of them in for a good price. Appreciate it. Free for 7 days. Peace.